Hi, welcome to Visual Basic Loan Management System. This is the one I made earlier, so I'm just going to run it and let you guys see how it works. Let's start with the name. So let's say that is something more. An address, maybe Motown Road. And type of accounts, so let's go for current account and withdraw. Let's say he's not withdrawing or not depositing anything. Overdrafts, nothing, he ain't got nothing, but he wants a loan, so we can always enter whatever I intend to borrow. And the rate, let's say the rate is 5.7. A number of payments, supposing you intend to pay for this maybe in 24 months, and how easy you going to pay it, how much payment, let's say about 503. So that's what he can afford for 24 months. Interest on the loan of 4,632. So let's compute the monthly pay. There you can see the loan analysis right there. That is it. As you can see, it's going to take him 118 payments at the rate of 503. Then the final payment of £481.63, and in total he would have paid £6,835.63, and that is the interest on the loan. So what I'm going to do now is take you guys straight into Visual Basic development environment and just show you how I've put this together. So let's go into Visual Basic now and start a new project. Okay, we are in Visual Basic now, so we click on new project. Let's give it a name. We call it loan underscore management underscore system. Make sure you select Windows Forms application and click on OK. There, that's the form right there, and click on the property and change the size of this form to 1366 by 700. Now we need one group box. Right there, paste the group box there and just draw it across. And one more group box that would go inside this very group box. Move it down a little bit right there, and one more group box. Let's get another one there right here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to change the font color, the form color. Let's change that, this very form, let's change that to app workspace, but I still want this to remain the same, so let's change that back to control. I think that should be control, but this is fine as app workspace. Okay, this is fine, and let's change this to control. No, that's wrong. This very one. Why the one in there? That will be changed to artwork space here, and up here we need a label, and this label we will enter loan management systems. Okay, change the font. Let's change the font to 72. Make that bold. Go for 72. Back color. Change the back color to white. There. Move it up. Somewhere there, and that is that. That's fine. We'll reduce this a little bit. Okay. Alright, that's looking good. The next thing we need a couple of labels here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we change the size of all of those labels, make that 24. And now we kind of like speed it up and get back to you guys with the design of the interface. Okay, I've finished with the design of the interface. This is how it's looking. So if I run this program right there, I think we need to, let's close that, select the form, make sure it's selected, and let's change the start position to center right there. Okay, now let's run it again. There we go. Now it's now center. You can see the label, my group box, the first one, the second group box. Now that's how my labels are looking. It's a text box. Now I have ComboBox there, and here that's a text box, a checkbox, text box here, another text box here, number up and down here, and that is a command button text box. That is a text box as well, and I have command buttons here. That's a label, command button, and a command button which I've disabled. Okay, so if I double click on this now, as you can see, there's nothing there. Okay, but before I continue with my coding, the first thing I want to do is to go to project and click on add new item. Right there I intend to enter a module to write some of my classes that I intend to use. So the first thing is to declare the following class. There. This would be for, those are the declaration for the account name, type of account, if there's withdraw, deposit, overdraw or overdraft, customer name, customer address. Then I have an array there which is public. I also have the customized details which is going public as well. So that's the model taken care of. So you guys have a good look at it, and that's all for the model. Now let's go to the form. Right there in the form, I will start by declaring the following variables: dim index as integer, and the next thing is dim, say I'll just call that compute payment as boolean. Right, so those are my two variables I intend to use. Okay, that's yeah, that's fine. So the next thing I will do now is to double click on the compute monthly payment and enter the following variables. I'll be using those variables. They are all local variables, as you can see. There they are: balance, interest, months, payment, monthly interest, and so on. Since I've declared my variables, I will now enter my first line of if statement. If txt balance is nothing, then the balance equals by value assigned to this variable balance. Then this message will pop up, must enter loan balance. Okay, now this time around, if the interest rate is 0, okay, I expect this to pop up as well. Okay, if it's 0, this goes in there, else this message box will pop up. Right, so now let's take care. I suppose you guys can see it, so let's take care of the rest of these codes. Okay, for the rest part of the code, as you can see from here down here, this is the longest part of the program, and that would sort of like take forever if I have to do that while creating this video. So I'm going to enter the rest part of the program right there. Let's come down here. I'll take a very good look. That's a variable. That's my if statement to check, else we must enter a loan balance. Okay, and now the interest. If you didn't enter anything in the interest, you must enter an interest rate. Then if we come down here, compute payments, let's have a look at that. If the number selector is 0, this is what will happen. You get this error message. The number selector is right here. Okay, let's go back to the code. This message pop up. Then if the interest equals 0, payment equals balance divided by month. And then we come down. So you might as well just have a good look at the rest of it. Bring it down. And here, if payment equals 0, payment is then stored, whatever is inside payment is stored into this variable. Then if payment is less than or equals to balance multiplied by monthly interest plus 1.0, then we get this. Okay, and let's take it down again so that you can see it. Let's make sure you guys can see the rest of the code. I might as well just break that so that you can see it. And you still see it? No, it's still too long. Okay, as you can see, I have an underscore there as well. That's how you make with a carriage return, so that the whatever you have in there continues, else you will have an error. If you don't do it properly, you will have an error. Okay, if I click on this now and just tab in, we will end up with an error there. Can you see that? Okay, so you don't want that undo. Alright, so let's move on. I guess you can see all the lines of codes now. So let's take it down. There. Okay, and take it down again. This is where I've carried out all the interest rate calculations and so on. And take it down again. Okay, as you can see it, that's where you get a balance. Loan balance is right here. Just simple arithmetic, and whatever rate you get that here. And right here, this is where the receipt is. Let's make sure you can see it all. No, you can't. Let me just break that. That is fine. This one too need breaking. Yeah. Okay. So from here, down, that is where the loan analysis is stored on the receipt here. I call it loan analysis. Okay, have a good look at it again. So I will take it up so that you can have a good look at it. The variable, and take it down. Alright, that's that. So let's take care of the other part of the codes. So this very button there, that's for new loan. Once one loan is sorted, you can always just double click on this and enter new loan. So those are the lines of codes for new loan. There they are. And here, that is just, you should all know, application.exit. That's taken care of. Now compute monthly loan, new loan is all taken care of. Now let's take care of add. I will click. So with add, we can just use a message box there. Let's say we have a message box. You double click on it. So a message box will always pop up that will say your loan has been transferred into your account. Okay, loan transferred into your account. Okay, and that's all there is to that. I will not be spending much time on that. So let's go for, let's close that, or we can just use MSG box. Why not? MSG box there, and there's corner VB info right there. That's cool. So I think we need to close that bracket. Yeah, that's fine. So if let me just save it. Yeah, save as. Yeah, that's fine. Save, and then run it and see. Let's run it now. There we go, guys. So you can enter a name here. Let's call that. Let's go for something. Maybe look John. Yeah, whatever. Look Johnny. Yeah, that's good. And address is Johnny's place. Yeah. Okay. Type of account. Savings account. He doesn't intend to withdraw anything or deposit anything. He actually need loans. So let's enter that in there. That's what Johnny need. The rate of the loan is 5%, and let's say Johnny intend to pay for 12 months, or you can just type this, make that 12, or just highlight and just enter 12 into it. And how much does he intend to pay per month? Let's say it's going for maybe £159 per month, and then that's it. Just click on compute, and that's it. In fact, at the end of the day, look, Johnny will be paying. We have to make 71 payments at this rate, and the final payment will be £133.15p. Okay, at the end of the day, he will end up paying £11,422.15p, with the interest that is paid off will be £1,568p. Okay, and that is it, and that's meant to be at the rate of 5%. So with that, I believe I've been able to share a bit of light into loan management system. I don't know much about banking, but there's one or two things I need to do. Just these two. I need to enter them. Let's enter time, and then that will be for time and dates. Let's do that now. One other thing that is missing is a timer, which is right there. So to start, we double click on this timer and just enter as follow: label 7.text equals timer. That'll be timer or time string. There, that's taken care of. Now we need to double click on the form and enter as follows for the form load. So if I run the program now, what you see is the date and the time. So let's adjust that time, maybe move it a little bit forward. Click and just move it forward a little bit. Now run the program again, and there. So let's just run this, add anything in there, rate maybe 7%. That will take 21 months. At what rate? 500. There, and that is it, guys. And that's how you develop your own loan management system. With that, I'll just say bye for now.